Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're talking about Ferrari and predicting what could be happening to them this season. It should be a really exciting one. They came obviously of a pretty decent 2017 season where they vastly improved, got much closer to the likes of Mercedes and obviously are leaping ahead of Red Bull in that 2017 season. So it's going to be a big one for them. Can they finally battle for the championship? Can they get their first world title in either the drivers or constructors for a very long time? I think it was 2007, wasn't it? 2007 with Raikkonen. I think, did they get the constructors in 2008? So it's been a long time since Ferrari wrapped up a world title. Can it be the season? I don't know. Leave your comments down below, guys. This is going to be an interesting one to talk about. So let's start off by talking about Kimi Raikkonen. So yeah, obviously a lot of people love Kimi Raikkonen. He's been a massive person throughout my sort of viewing experience of Formula 1. Some of the greatest overtakes I've ever seen have been through Kimi Raikkonen. He's raced for some of the biggest teams in the sport. He's pulled off some of the funniest moments. So he's, you know, throughout my life, he's going to be one of the people I remember as an F1 driver. He's just been absolutely iconic. But of course, he is getting towards the end of his F1 career, undoubtedly. I mean, he's getting nearly, you know, nearer to his 40s, which to most people is definitely sort of past it in Formula 1. And I have been saying for the last couple of years, I thought like there have been better options for Ferrari than Kimi Raikkonen, but I think that Kimi Raikkonen proved last year, at least in certain races, he definitely, you know, can perform. He can be pretty decent, but unfortunately the consistency wasn't there throughout the whole season. So for me, Kimi Raikkonen definitely needs to sort of just improve his consistency throughout the season. That's a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, he needs to improve the consistency because he can't end up, you know, the talent's obviously there, so he can't end up behind Vettel by like a second in some random events throughout the season. It's just, that's not good enough as a Ferrari driver to be that far behind your teammate. And like we were talking about with Bottas in the Mercedes team, it's not really acceptable to be that far behind your teammate when you're in a top team battling for a championship. So Kimi Raikkonen, I definitely think it just needs to level out that consistency throughout the whole season. I think then he'll be much higher up in the standings, and or maybe even not higher up in the standings, but just, you know, he gets more points for the team, which is the big thing. And that's what sort of let them down last year, was the battle between Bottas and Raikkonen really in the championship. And Bottas was just a bit more consistent than Raikkonen throughout the whole season. But of course, Raikkonen did prove that he was very quick in some races, which obviously shows to so many of us that did doubt him, including myself. The talent is still there. There's still fire that burns inside Kimi Raikkonen. We saw in events like Hungary and Monaco, just two ones I can remember off the top of my head, that Raikkonen was really fantastic and probably should have picked up victory. So Raikkonen, I think he's still there. He's still good enough for Formula 1. I just do doubt whether the sort of the last tenth of a second, the last 0.2 of a second to match Sebastian Vettel are still there for every single Grand Prix. So it's always a bit of a question mark. Of course, we all love Kimi Raikkonen, such a great person for the sport. But in terms of outright speed, it's probably not like where it was when he was in his sort of first time at Ferrari in 07, 08, and obviously the end of the McLaren days. He was absolutely fantastic as well. So yeah, for Kimi Raikkonen, I think personally it's just about consistency, and then we'll probably see a better performance throughout, you know, the whole season from him, and maybe we could see him pick up a victory. That'd be fantastic. I mean, it'd be really nice to see Kimi Raikkonen pick up another victory. It's been a long time since the start of 2013. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the start of 2013 where he got his last victory in Australia, I think. So it's been a long time, many years, over 5 years if he doesn't win in Australia this year. So yeah, we'll see. But I think Kimi Raikkonen, this could be possibly his last season in Formula 1. We'll see. I definitely think the pressure's on him this year to perform. Otherwise, someone like Leclerc or elsewhere could get that Ferrari seat for the 2019 season. So I think more than ever, the pressure is on Raikkonen to get some good results this year. So let's talk about the four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel. How will he fare in the 2018 season? Of course, it's going to be starting off or ending off last year with a bit of disappointment. Of course, the car let him down on some occasions towards the end of the 2017 season, meaning he couldn't really have a proper fight towards the championship against Lewis Hamilton. So I think there's going to be a bit of a disappointment, or a massive amount of disappointment in the Ferrari camp, that they couldn't keep up the consistency in the car, they couldn't develop fast enough, and they couldn't really keep up with Mercedes, and then the car let him down on some vital occasions. So it is what it is. Vettel couldn't wrap up his 5th title last year, and now the two big names in our sport currently have 4 world titles. So it's going to be interesting to see whether one of those is going to go for a 5th title in 2018. But Sebastian Vettel, I think, was pretty fantastic throughout the 2017 season. There were occasions in the past where I thought he lost his temper quite easily. Of course, It happened a couple of times in 2017, so no tool moments like Baku, for example, but not as much as it probably had in the past. I think that's probably the only time I could really remember is sort of anger getting to him. Obviously frustration in Singapore and Japan and all of those, but in terms of just sort of a little bit of immaturity, I definitely think Baku obviously was the main one, but it's definitely improved over the last couple of years. I think some of the days in his Red Bull, time at Red Bull, he struggled with that. He struggled with his emotions in Formula 1. I think he's become a much better all-round person for the sport and a really, idol for a lot of people really now. Sebastian Vettel is an idol for a lot of people in this sport, and I think he's sort of got to live up to that over the last couple of years. He's struggled obviously with the car not being quite there, but yeah, in terms of championship potential this year, I think he is going to be battling for the title. I mean, I talked about this on the F1 Word podcast. A couple of times it's been brought up now. The 2 times I've been on the podcast, it's been talked about, and I'm sort of predicting what's going to be happening for this season. I feel like he's going to win the championship. It's such a bold claim, and I'm pretty sure every time I predicted a world champion, except from last year, I think I got it right last. Did I not? No? I don't know. I don't know whether I got it right last year, actually, to be fair. I don't know whether I predicted Vettel last year. I might have predicted Vettel last year, but I think I've only predicted the title right once or twice in my time on YouTube, which is obviously quite embarrassing, considering a lot of the time you knew what the best car was going to be. I think when Vettel was at Red Bull dominating, I was like, it's always going to be someone else. It's always going to be someone else. Just, yeah, I never believed in Red Bull enough and Vettel, but of course, they all proved us wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna put my faith in Sebastian Vettel for the 2018 season. I feel like he's gonna wrap up the championship this year. I don't know what it is. There's just something inside me which makes me feel like he's gonna do it this year, and possibly it could be just down to sort of me wanting it to happen. I'd love for it to happen, or one of the Red Bull drivers to win the championship, or Bottas. I don't know. I just feel like obviously Hamilton and Mercedes and Rosberg have dominated the sport for so many years. It sort of gets a bit boring to me, so I'm like, I just want to see a new, new coloured team win the championship. I don't know. That's just is that a weird thing? I think a lot of us were like the same when Vettel was dominating every single year. 010, 011, 012, 013. It's like, can we just have someone in a different coloured team now just win this championship? Because we're all getting a bit bored. And then obviously Mercedes won it, which was lovely. And then they've won it ever since. And it's like, now we've got to the stage where we all want it to change again. So, yeah, I kind of don't know whether it's just me wanting it to happen or whether I think legitimately it will happen. Of course, I feel like Mercedes are going to come out with a good car this year. But I feel like Vettel has so much from last year that he knows he can improve on, or maybe even the team really. The team probably know that more than anything. Vettel has become a much better all-round driver, I feel, over the last couple of years. I feel there's a lot there from last year, like unfinished business, I suppose is the right way to say it. I feel there's a lot of unfinished business for Sebastian Vettel, so I feel like he's going to win the championship this year. That could be completely wrong, and I'm looking forward to some people coming back to this video at the end of the year and telling me how wrong I was. But this is the fun of these sort of videos. I mean, hopefully nobody takes it too seriously, but it's just supposed to be a bit of fun, and I'd like to see your comments and thoughts down below. Let me know where you think the Ferrari drivers are going to finish. So, yeah, if I say Vettel's going to win the championship, where am I going to put Raikkonen? I don't know if this is harsh or not, but I'm going to put Raikkonen in P6. I feel like it's going to be quite close. I feel like the top 6 drivers are going to be really close this year. I feel like there won't be more than maybe 100 points between P1 and P6. Of course, we've got to factor in unreliability throughout the whole season, so this is going to probably slightly be adjusted here and there through reliability. But in terms of car and driver, I feel like Vettel will be P1 and Raikkonen P6, but as I said, I don't think there'll be massive gaps between the drivers like there have been for the last couple of years, but we will see. In terms of the constructors, I don't know. I said Mercedes are going to be P2. Then I know who I want to be P1, but it's not Ferrari. So I put Ferrari in P3, but in a way I kind of wanted to put them in P2 and P1 at the same time. I think that's such a good thing about the season, is it's so unpredictable. So everyone's like, what's going to happen? Nobody knows. and there's not really been the sort of the idea like the last couple of years where Mercedes are going to dominate, or at least be very, very consistently at the top. I think a lot of people think a lot of different things for the season, which is good. I just really want a season like 2012. 2012 had so many interesting race winners. Like, I think it was 8 or 9 race winners that season. So many different, obviously, cars and teams winning. If we could have a season, that's sort of anything like that, that'd be fantastic. I think 2012 has probably been one of the best seasons I can remember in my lifetime. It was just, yeah, a really, really good one, just because the variety of winners was fantastic. So, yeah, of course, guys, leave your comments and thoughts down below. Where do you think Ferrari are going to finish in this championship, both drivers and constructors? That'd be great to see in the comment section down below. So that's pretty much it, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you around soon. Goodbye.